Let's start the Mamer Bosi Legani Achisi Kalo. That's in the Maimorim in Likutei Torah for Shir Hashirim. This is the 25th Mamer, and it starts on the Posik. This is already in Perik Hey in Shir Hashirim. It starts with the Posik Bosi Legani Achisi Kalo. I've come to my garden. Eibishter speaks to the Knesset Yisrael, saying, Achoisi Kalo, my sister, my bride, I've come to my garden. And the Alter Rebbe will teach here that garden means the Gan Eden. Hashem says, come to the Gan Eden. Orisi Moiri im Besomi, this is the fragrance that they put on themselves with the boisim. Achalti Yori im Davshi, that's the eating the forest with the honey. Shasisi Yeni im Chalbi, drinking the wine with the chalav. As we'll see, he'll touch it all in the what it means. Ichlu reim shesu v'shikru doidim. Eat, friends, drink. Become drunk, doidim, the beloved. What does all this mean as in Primis Inyonim, as we will explain? This is discussed in Rabbi's Nosoi Parsha Yud Gimel Korev L'Reish Parsha, almost closer to the beginning of the Parsha, in Soif Parshas V'Aschanon, Shir Hashirim Rabba Posik Zeh, U'Bepasuk Ma Yofu Doidecha. Pirush, Posi Legani. So what does it mean, Bosi Legani, I've come to my garden? So Bosi Legani means Hainu Gilui Elokuz Shebegan Eden Hatachten Bachatzois Lailo. Bosi Legani takes place at midnight. At midnight, Hashem says, I've come to my garden. What does it mean Hashem comes? Hashem comes means there is a revelation of godliness in the lower level of Gan Eden at midnight. At midnight, there is a bosi. Hashem comes. There is a revelation in Gani, in my garden, the Gan Eden Atachten, during midnight. Sha'oz, at that time, at midnight, why is there a Gilu? Because at that time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu mishtashea b'neshomes hatzadikim. The Eibishter, Hashem, is enjoying the company and is enjoying himself with the souls of the tzaddikim. Bosi Legani, that's after midnight. What takes place before midnight, during the night? After Hashem remembers the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash at nighttime, umekarker means chulu, that he mourns and yearns and cries, sort of sobs. So after that, this becomes the comfort of Hashem and v'shashuoi, and his enjoyment and his pleasure is b'neshamayis hatzadikim. That's with the souls of the tzadikim al yidei esek teirosam, through the occupation in Torah. Comes down to Gan Eden Atachten, where the tzadikim, the neshamas of the tzadikim, are occupied in Torah. Moshe Kosu, as the pasuk says, "Hayeshavas baganim." The one who sits in the gardens, that's in the Gan Edens, there are the friends that are coming to listen to your voice. That means the Malachim, the Pamal Shamayla, they're all coming Hashmieni. So there is the level of tzaddikim. The Eibishter comforts himself in the tzaddikim, the soul tzaddikim, by learning the Torah, as it says in the pasuk, that's where they're occupying Gan Eden. Chaveri makshivim l'koilach hashmini. V'hinei biur inyan zeh. Let's explain this idea. Lahovin mahu inyan hashashua v'hanechama shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'esek haTorah. What is this idea that the Eibishter is enjoyment and his comfort would be in the occupation of Torah? Haloi hakol hoya kvar goli v'yadu lefanav Yisbarach. Isn't then everything already known, revealed, and known before Hashem blessed? Hashem doesn't have to come to the Gan Eden to listen to Torah. It's something that he didn't know before. So why would this be his enjoyment and his occupation and his comfort to go down and listen to the Torah story of the Neshavos Tzadikim? And the Alter Rebbe is going to explain that the power of Torah is not just the knowledge of Torah that we talk to learn something, but it's the power of Torah is a tremendous hamshacha that brings down into the world, that brings about the shashu and the necham, as will be explained. But now the other question is v'gam lahovin, also to understand lama b'chatzois alaylo dafker v'achar shezecher esachurban. Why is it dafker at midnight and only after he remembers the destruction? That is when Hashem comes down and he's mishtasheya with the neshamas tzadikim, the Torah. Why is the connection? Why is the dafke after chatzos? And why is it dafke after he remembers the destruction? Hine, see, to bring out what happens now, what a Yid accomplishes when he learns Torah in this world. Pasuk says, the Eibishter placed Adam Arishon. He placed man into the Gan Eden so that he worked the garden, and he protected. Basically, the main goal of creating man is Gan Eden, is to work the Gan Eden. That means the Hainu Lahamshich. What does it mean to work the Gan Eden? The Hainu Lahamshich Gilui Elakusi Yisborich. That means to bring down the revelation of his blessed godliness into the Gan Eden, into the world. The world was created is to work the Gan Eden, to bring down godliness. Ki kasher hashamayim achadoshim. V'hinei Amr Azal Golu lebavel shchina imohem. So there is the idea of working the Gan Eden where there is Gilul Ekusis Barach. But then, unfortunately, there's the time when we go into Golus. So over there, he says, quotes from Razal, Golu lebavel shchina imohem. The shchina is still with them. Shechina ubchinas alma deisgalia. Shechina is with them, meaning the revealed world is still there. The Hainu Giluya Lakusis Baruch Lahavis Oilmes Elyonim Betachtoinim. That there is a revelation of his blessed godliness to create the upper and lower worlds. That is still there. The Shekhinah is still with them, even though they went into Golus. Hagam shegam begolus oilam kimen hoginoy. So, what does it mean? We have so what is the difference between being in Gan Eden when we say the Shechina? So we say that Gol Lebabel Shechina Imahem. Also, we have the Shechina Ba'alma Disgalia to create God. So, how is that different? Hagam Shegam Bil Golus Oilam Kimin Hogi Noyeg. Even though in the time of exile, the world still runs in the normal course. But call Yimei and quoting from the Pasuk, after the Mabul, the Eibishter made a promise that called Yimei that as long as the earth stands, the seasons will be when you sow, when you cut. That he creates every day the Ma'aseh Bereshis. So we see that everything is going on as usual, and seemingly from the Golus and Simoim. So what's the difference between the Gan Eden? What's the difference when we're not in Golus and in the Golus? The difference between Beis Hamikdash and Golus is Gilu v'Helem, how much openly there is the Elokus. Shabizman she'ein Beis Hamikdash kayim, that when the Beis Hamikdash is not in existence, Almod is Galia hi bechinas Helem v'Hester Ponim. So that world that is revealed is in a way of obscure and hiding of the face. There is no openness in the time of Golus. Like the pasuk says, "V'hanoichi hastir astir ponai bayom hahu," and the Eibishter says the ponai is supposed to be the face, gilui. It'll be astir ponai. There will be a helem from the ponai bayom hahu. In that day, that meaning pointing to a far away place, into Alma Discasia, which means Alma Disgalia will also be covered and not revealed. Pirush, Bayoimahu. What does it mean by Yoimahu? Bibchinas Alma Discasia. Aster Ponai in Bayoimahu in Alma Discasia, it'll be hidden. Shachoyshech Oretz, when darkness covers the land, the earth. So that's when it's goes. Behine k'moy shenira b'chush b'seder v'anhogos ha'olam b'choshech v'oir shel olam hazeh. Just as we see our chushim can literally see with our senses. So we see with our senses the order and how the world is run in the darkness and the light of Olam Hazeh. Certain times in the world it's dark, it's nighttime, and certain times it's light in the Olam Hazeh. So what did we see? Shebe'itos Erev, that when it comes the time of the evening, Maschil lahapilu lahachshir, it begins to become dark and darker, keeps on becoming more. It keeps on getting darker till it comes to midnight. It starts in the beginning of the night, in the evening, it starts to get darker until it gets totally dark when it comes to midnight. And then on the other hand, from midnight and on, then it starts to shine a little bit at a time. So just like we see in physically, same thing is the idea with the exile of the Shekhinah when divine. The time that it descends and it falls, that is till midnight. Shows Nemar, that's where it says Vatipa lifnei raglov. It says by Esther, she fell before Achashverosh. So Vatipa lifnei raglov, that's represented the Golus Hashchina, the descent. But that takes place till midnight. Umechatzois ve'elech hu misrei memes ma'at ma'at. It says who or he misrei memes.
I don't know.
It says
it's three letters there. Hey, Vav, and Aleph.
Yeah, so that's who. Yeah, okay. Normally I would expect this because it's talking about Batipol. Talking about the Shechina, you did doson, if you lost so, it's all in a feminine lotion. And Mechatzois Va'elech would seem it should say he, but it says who. Okay. Wazela hu Misrei Memes Ma'at Ma'at. She raises up little by little. It's elevated to the men of action, which means that get up at midnight to occupy in Torah. So it gets up a little bit because at Chatzois there's only a select few that get up then. But then ubeshachar, when it comes the morning, yesh lo kimomal yaisa. Then it has a proper getting up. It stands up, a good stand up. Through Torah and the service of the davening and the mitzvahs of the Jewish people in general. That's the way the Shechina that has been fallen down till Chatzois gets fully up. From Chatzois until the morning, it gets up a little bit at a time, and then it gets fully up. Ulahavin Ma'u inyan hagilu v'ha'elam. So what is this that we say that there is the time of darkness, Helam, then there's the time of Gilu? What is this? Hine b'bsori echza. So we can see this from our flesh, using the pasuk in Iyov. We can see the way it works by us in our flesh to imagine how it goes above. Just like by a person, there is seichel midas machshava, the intellect, the emotions, and the thought. Get this: the intellect and the emotions; those are the soul itself. The machshava is already a garment of the soul, and you have chulu machshava dibur ma'aseh. So kacha derech moshul. Same thing is by Hashem. We have the machshava of Hashem, and gam shenemar kiloi machshavoyse machshavoysechem. So we say our. So how could we learn from our machshava? It's a different kind of machshava, but he says harinemar. But the pasuk also says moed amku machshavoysecha, so that your thoughts are very deep. So, meaning the Eibishter has thoughts, there is a level of thought by Hashem, but it's very deep. What does it mean when we say that Hashem's thought is very deep? What does Moed Amku mean? It says, Shehem Bechinas Almadi is Kasya. They are in the level of hidden, the machshava, and they're not visible and they're not revealed in the conduct and running of the world. We don't see in the world the manifestation of Hashem's machshava. Hashem's machshava is hidden. What does the world see? Rak hanagosam hu al. The way the world runs is by Hashem's measures. That's through the levels of Chesed, Gevura, Zodat Silus. That runs the world, not the level of Machshava. Vereishison, Hua Chesed. What is the beginning of the Eibishter's Midas? We have it starts with Chesed. K'moshe Kosuv, Olam Chesed Yiboneh. World is built with chesed. And all of these, v'heim kol ha'ma'amorish v'hem divrei olam, those are the level of the Eibishter's midas, are all the sayings with which the world was created. Yehi oir chulu, and also v'sheishes and mebreshis, and the 6th day of creation correspond to the 6 midas. Yom Rishon Chesed Chulu, and Yom Sheni will be Gvura, etc. So the world is run not from the level of Seichel and Machshava, the world is run from the level of Midas. The entire days of the world are only these 6 days, these 6 Midas. Those are the 6 days. Why? Ki Shabbos, Zman Aliyas Olam Limikodim. On Shabbos, the worlds go back up to their source. And then it goes back again and is renewed the days of the weekday. Yom Rishon Chulu, you come back to the Midos and Yom Rishon, etc. V'imkein, since it's a repetition, it's coming back again, the previous. Hare Sheishes Yomim Hashniim Heim Atzmam Sheishes Yomim Rishonim Shenischashu. So the secondary 6 days are the self, they are the 6 first days that have been renewed. It's again, it come back again what it was before. That's the level of the world in of itself, the level of midos. That's the world itself. What's the job of a yid? A job of a yid is to reveal the level of machshava. That level of Hashem's thoughts are very deep. To bring them out in the revealed them. So we are to bring out the level of machshava, bring it down that it should be gilu. But this it says, from mamakim, I call you out from the mamakim to bring you down. The Pirish beParshas B'Shalach, Daf Samach Gimel Amud Beis, uBeParshas Schanon, Daf Reish Samach Amud Beis. V'ayin beParshas Vayichi, Daf Reish Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, beParshas Achrei Daf Ayin, v'ayin beRabbeis Parsha Vayikra Soy Parsha Gimel, Mayim Amukim Chulu Mamakim Chulu. O Pirush Mimamakim, and me from the depths, Mibechinas Helen, Shu Bechinas Omkum Machshvesecha, from the level of Helen, which is the level of Omkum Machshvesecha, which is Olmo Diskasya. That is the world of Diskasya. Krosicha, Mimamakim Krosicha, Odom Hakoyru Lechavere. Just like when you call your friend, Sheyetze Mebeise Lechutz, Liyas Bechinas Gilui. So you call your friend, he's in the house, and you call him to come out to you from the house, meaning he should be revealed to you. He's hidden in the house, coming out. Mimamakim Krasicha means we're calling out Hashem from being hidden to come out in the level of Gilui, so that we can see him. And that's the level of Ma'od Omkum Mechashvesecha, that Mimamakim, from that level of Mimamakim, that's the place that we call Hashem. Kihine Isa b'Tikkunei Zohar says in the Tikkunei Zohar, Lav di Islach Tzedek Yidiyah. It's not that you have a known, but we can understand your righteousness, that Tzedek Yidiyah. No. Just to run with those midos, with the midos of Chesed and Gevura, to run the world according to the actions of the people, the people, to how they act. Pirush. Shanhogas v'hamshoches hamidos liyos bohen, the conduct, and we draw down the midos so that with them should be hanhogas oilamos be'ovdein dibnei noshatalia, so that the world will run according to the action of the people. That's what it hinges. Asher yaseh ha'odom lamat, that what the people are going to do. that will bring bisarusa dilatata, isarusa delayla. The arousal from below will bring the arousal from above. Meaning that how are we mamshich the midos, the chesed, the gevura into the world should run is that depends on the people's work. Our isarusa dilatata brings the isarusa delayla. Shal yidei tzedakah v'chesed sha'osim lamata, through the charity and kindness that we do here below, we arouse, we wake up above, so that the blessed light of the Ein Sof should rest and be revealed, that it should rest up in chesed, that we do tzedakah v'chesed over here, we bring down Ein Sof in the midos of chesed, the way they are l'maylo, in atzilus. In other words, when we do over here below, we're mamshich the Ein Sof into the midos, the way they're in atzilus. V'chein al derech zeh. This is tzedakah v'chesed. Similar b'chol hamidos, all the midos. V'ayim ha'shekosu b'dibra maschil l'shusos. Ach, ein sof shoyno mizgala elo b'bchinas chochma. The ein sof does not really rest and revealed only in the level of chochma. So while we are mamshich, that it should be mamshich in midas hachesed, but really it only comes down to the level of chochma. Tiksiv, Bereshis bara likim, that in the beginning, God created. What do you mean? Bereshis bara likim b'targum yeneson b'chuchmason. It was with wisdom, basically meaning that the level of chochma. Bereshis is the level of chochma. Chochma bara likim, with chochma the Eibush to create, which means the manifestation of Ein Sof is in chochma. So we just said here that it comes to tzedakah v'chesed. Sha'ar chochma hu chayis v'kiyum amidus, because the chochma is the energy and the sustaining of the midas. So you get the Ein Sof in chochma, and from chochma it sustains the midas chesed. The midas of atzilus come through the level of chochma. V'hinei ksiv kulam b'chochma siso. Everything was done with chochma. Shebchinas chochma mulubeshes b'chol hamidas, that the level of chochma is dressed up in all the midas. But that doesn't mean that since chochma comes in all the midas, ebemela the Ein Sof, which is in chochma, is equal in all the midas as well, because there's chochma in all the midas. No. Ach mikol makom ein doime chochma shemelubeshes toich hamidas ve'ein nidis v'niglis b'hem, that it's in all the midas and it's not visible and revealed in them. Lebchinas gilu hachochma atzma, to the level of the revelation in chochma itself. Shehi l'mayla mayla b'madrega min hamidas v'gilu hamid. It's much higher than the midas. The gilu hachochma, the Ein Sof and the chochma, is much higher. The chochma is much higher than the midas. The gilu hamidas nimshachim imen. The revelation of the midas come from chochma. So chochma itself is much higher. Sha'ar chochma techayes, the pasuk says, chochma vitalizes that. But chochma itself is a much higher madrega. V'ayim hashkosu divra maschel v'hoy midei chodesh gaba b'yoyim chodesh yiposeach. L'chein kidei lahamshich oirin sobaruch u'lamato. So how do we draw down the Ein Sof Baruch Hu below? So the chliyas al yidei ha-Torah. That's why we need Torah for that. Why? Shehi bechinas chochmos uritzeni yisbarach. Torah is Hashem wisdom and will. V'hihi shashu shlakadosh baruch hu. And that is the play things of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, K'meshekosuf, ve'eyeh shashuyim. V'zou b'chinas gilui oirin sof baruch hu. That is the revelation of the Oirin Sof. When the Chochmah, we learn Torah, which is Hashem's wisdom, that is the revelation of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. V'nikra, Zu b'shem Av. That's why we call it the Av, the father. Av va'em. Av is Chochmah. Nikra b'china zu b'shem Av. Shu shoyresh u'moker kol ha'ishtalshelus. Because that is the root and the source of all the ishtalshelus. V'azeonu mispalalim. And this is what we daven. We say, Slach lonu avinu. So what do we say? Forgive us, our Father. In other words, we're turning to the level of Chochmah. Why? Shehu of harachamim v'haslichas. He is the Father of compassion and forgiving. Why? Because in the level of Av, einei magia v'gam hachet v'oven. Over there, the blemish of the sin, they don't touch there. They don't reach there. In the level of Chochmah, with the level of Ein Sof, which dressed up in Chochmah, in the level of Av, over there doesn't reach the level of Chetzon Kamesha Kosuf. And the Pasuk says, in Tzadakto, Chulu, if you're righteous, what can you do? What do you give him? Basically, it's a place in the Ein Sof in which our mitzvahs don't really matter, or when we do our dangerous, and that's why we can get the slicha from that place. That's why it's the avarachamim v'haslichas. That's higher than the midas which run kifum avdeim. Over there, it's on a level which things don't matter, and we can get slicha, arachamim and slichas from there. Ein mashekosu b'dvira maschil tzenu re'eno su yidechem kodesh avarchus Hashem v'ayim mashekosu b'dvira maschil lov mashekosu v'agodem atzizuchulu minyan meichin da'aba v'ayim v'zoyer ha'rekia also meichin da'aba over there v'ayim v'zoyer ha'rekia parshas v'yikra v'dav zaynam v'beis b'dvira maschil keshem anatoy. Oh, so that is in the level when there is chokhmah, when there is Torah. Torah is mamshich, the level of the Ein Sof. When there's only visible and revealed Hashem's measures, the midas with which He runs the world, how does that begin as Helen? So then the level of Chochmah, the level when there's no Torah, so then the level of the Ein Sof is hidden. That's why during the 6th day of creation it says, "Vayemer Elikim." Should be the Satzimtzum. That's the measure of restriction, not visible, all restricted, all the lights restricted. Rak Shabbos, who is Galus Bechinas Chochmah. When it comes to Shabbos, then we have the revelation of Chochmah. Kisiv Vayichal Elikim. Over there it says Elikim has concluded. It expired. No more Elikim. Pirush. Shekolso Bechinas Umadreges Elikim. That is finished. The level and the step of Elikim is finished. Shenase Kates V'tichla L'madreges, that has become a end and a finish from this level. Only afterwards it's written, so later on, again, there's the creation when Hashem Elikim Sheshita Midas Hashem, the Eibishter was also Mitzativ the Midas Harachamim to the Midas Hadin. So you have Hashem Elikim. So In the beginning, there was no Elikim at all because it came Shabbos by Chal Elikim. Recreation of the world, the Eibishter also Shidas. It says the Hey here, but it must mean over here Shita Midisadin. It says that Rosh Eina Miskayim Shita Midis Rach, but over here it's Shita Midisadin. I think the Hey stands for Hadin because it's Hashem Elikim, and we're saying that Chila was just Hashem. Now we need also Elikim. So Inyan. And this is the idea. Shebechatzois Lailo Hakadosh Baruch Hu Mishtashea B'Neshamis Hatzadikim Alidei Isik Teroso. So this is the idea that at midnight the Eibishter is playing and enjoying the soul tzaddikim through their study of Torah. After he remembers the destruction. That is the falling and the descent of the level of the revealed world. In a way of exile, Hester. That would be his comfort. That there should be a revelation of the enjoyment of above. The Eisek HaTorah and Ganei Bosi Legani Shein the Bechinas Chochmei Lo. That comes from Chochmei Lo. How do we get this? V'hainu Aidei Eisek HaTorah, that is through the level of Eisek HaTorah Liyos Amshochas Oirin Sobaruchu B'Chochmo L'Slabish B'Midas. That is through the bringing down of the Ein Sof in Chochma, and that way, and to dress up in the midos chulu. That way, we start with the elevation of the Alma Disgalia, Mahester chulu from its block, as explained above.